Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Sorry, I had to restart it. Mercury retrograde is in the microwave again. You know what I'm saying? So we were having some technical difficulties. And I restarted the video. So I'm gonna let everybody come on in. We was having some glitchiness, and so I wanted to restart. I'm going to give everybody a second because I feel like today is going to be an important day with important information, spiritual messages, and I want to give everybody a chance to come on in, grab a coffee. What's good, Mel? You know, whatever floats your boat, a little gardening, whatever. Pull up a seat and let's discuss all the things that have been coming to the forefront. And I titled this The Epstein Files, and it will be about what Spirit has to say around that situation. But for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that since about 2021, we have been getting messages surrounding the fall of the patriarchy, in a sense, and how that would affect us globally, you know. And I feel like this story ties into the messages that we've been receiving at least since 2020, 2021. And it's a lot of confirmation, and I want to expand on that. And the state of women. I feel like this Epstein file, what's good, Project Execute, and the 50,000 emails or 100,000 emails that were erased, depending on the article that were released, depending on the article that you read, highlights, you know, people always talking about writing novels of dystopian societies. And I'm going to say something, and maybe some people don't like it, and I don't really give a shit. We might be living in that dystopian society right now, globally. Why is it? I was having this conversation with my partner this morning. Yesterday, I came across some information that was saying that there's an epidemic in South Africa where a woman or a child is killed every 2.5 hours. And they're saying it's an epidemic of femicide. And I don't know that much about the situation. I did reach out to Venus, you guys know, from our Patreon, and she's going to give us more information about that. But I want you to understand that what that is saying is that whether the economic background is different, whether it's the 1%ers, whether it's in our own communities, our own backgrounds, beyond color lines, beyond, right? That women aren't safe. That's the reality. And it ties back into the Mami Wata and the reading that we had did about that, you know? And I think it's time that if there's any generation, you know, I think we have a really good shot right now with Generation X, the millennials, and Generation, is it Z? To make a change. Okay? Is it going to be pretty? Nah, hell no. You see what's happening. But I think that if there's, and you know, I always talk about the three, right? Generation X, the millennials, and Gen Z. We got a shot, gang. What you're seeing right now is the response to where they know we're headed. Okay? So I don't know if you've been noticing the crash out that's coming out of the White House. Oh, before I switch into the main subject, if you want to be supportive to the South Africa movement against femicide, and more broadly, change your pictures to something that's purple on your social media. We're trying to bring awareness, and there's a particular day that they're going to be having a protest where they all wear black. And I'm going to be doing that as well. And it's not to spend any money. Is the date here? It's on the date of the G20 summit, but I don't know what day that is. It's in this month. Okay, so we need to find that out. When I get that information, I will share it out with you. What's good, that crazy bee? But if you would like to show support to the South African women's movement against femicide and women dying, women and young children dying every 2.5 hours, change your profile pic to a purple, please. Okay, especially for my Patreoners, let's support our sister in arms, Venus, please. Okay, all right, so let's get into it. I don't know how many of y'all have checked out any of these emails. And honestly, I'm not going to pour through them in that way. I'm going to ask Spirit what they want to reveal. But I did see a few videos about specific emails that are quite horrendous, and that are emails that were sent by Epstein. And I don't have to say allegedly to that, because this is already documented. These emails are Epstein's emails, what's good, Rose, going to either Ghislaine, to people around Trump, and to people in Big Red's government. Full fucking stop. Look at them. Okay? There are some references that are made, and those parts will say allegedly too, because we don't know who Bubba is. But supposedly, not supposedly, there's an actual email that says, you know, Trump and Bubba. And now this is the allegedly part. Allegedly, word on the curb is that Bubba is Clinton, and that there might have been an interaction between them two. I'll say allegedly to that because that's not proven, but it is spoken about in the email. That is the subject matter, plain as. Does the email exist? Absolutely. Is that what the email is saying? Yes. Okay. There's another email saying that he was in Epstein's house with one of the victims for over 4 hours. And that email was sent to Ghislaine. There's emails of him reaching out to people, legitimate emails of him reaching out to people, Epstein, telling them that he can assist them in navigating Trump and that they should hit him up for information. Make matters worse, a lot of those emails are sent in 2019, right? So basically what's coming out in these emails, to you know, break it down into a nutshell. okay, allegedly, is that while he was in his first term, it appears that Epstein was blackmailing him or leveraging his knowledge against him. It also appears that in 2019, both Andrew, who was formerly known as Prince Andrew, Epstein, and Trump were all together. And that seems to be now no longer a theory. That is while he was in his first term. That means that the taxpayers paid for a social visit for a ring of alleged pedos allegedly. There are individuals right now within the Republican Party that are actively flipping against him. Allegedly, to release everything, they need 20 Republicans to co-sign. You believe it's on Friday, 2021. Oh, thank you for the protest. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us. Thank you. And welcome. But I would say that supposedly what they need is a threshold of 20 to release all the information. Last I heard, last night, they were up to 8 already. And for those of you that are in the Patreon, I think last week I was saying that this Mercury retrograde, and for those of you who like content like this, you should join my Patreon because we get into it over there, okay? But I had been saying to you guys that this Mercury retrograde really wasn't about exes. I mean, yeah, you could get a little X pop up here and there. This shit is about the big reveal. Okay? And what needs to be seen as a whole. With the Pluto retrograde, the Saturn coming out of retrograde, the Neptune about to come out of retrograde, we're not supposed to be ignoring this shit anymore. We're supposed to see the totality of the abuse of, children, women, exploitation, the thievery, the lack of humanity, the starving of people, the homeless epidemic. We're supposed to see the cruelty of this system in its full capacity. You know why this fucking timeline feels so terrible? And we talk about it in Patreon. Like, are we in the right timeline? You know why this timeline feels so terrible? Because each and every one of us has signed up to be in this timeline to fight this final, like, boss level shit. Like on a video game when you got to beat the last level. Okay? So it's supposed to feel so crazy that it's like, we're not gonna take it. That we're just like, that is enough. That is enough of the exploitation. That is enough of the thievery of our money. That is enough of the making the little guy scrap and scrape while you guys are taking money hand over fist, getting fat on the hog, taking our kids, exploiting that. And I mean, it's just... I can't take it. We're going to check in and we're going to see what Spirit wants to tell us about this. But before I even go on, I saw something today. Or was it last night? Basically, it was proof. I think it was on YouTube. Let me see. Here it is. I'm not making this shit up. And I follow this creator. He was an attorney. And now he covers political news. Okay. His name is Hawks Podcast. I love him. I've been following him for a couple years. Okay. So I'm going to play this short because I think it's absolutely fucking relevant to what we're discussing. In addition to that, for those of you in the Patreon, you know we've touched on this. Okay, so when I play it, you're going to know, right? And now that we know that Epstein was in connection to people in Vladimir Putin's sphere, just put that back there, because there was about a month ago, they were saying that, yes, Melania is in contact with Putin, supposedly about the children in Ukraine. I want you to pay attention to this video. I'm going to play it for you guys. Let me make sure my volume is okay.
So this is a snapshot from a 1996 archive of a website called A Foreign Affair. As you can see, Melania is on this website and she has her date of birth, her background. There's her photos from her modeling. I think she was like 17 in those photos. If you look down here, it says that the website is called A Foreign Affair, and this was copyright 1996. Foreign Affair is a real matchmaking, international dating, mail order bride company that exists, that is based in the United States, that was founded in 1995 and still operates to this day. From the Internet Archive, this was 1996, the year after A Foreign Affair had already started. So Melania was on the website a year after it was founded. Like when I say they're still active and operating to this day, you can look at their social medias. They're actively still posting, showing off their happy couples, showing off the brides they have available. Like, this is weird. And like, I'm not being a hater on like international dating, but under these pretenses in this context, yeah, this is just like mail order bride stuff. International marriage broker, romance tour company. Be for real. Just take a look-see at the countries in which they operate. All right. Yeah, we need to protect the Wayback Machine at all costs because the evidence is there. You know, this isn't shocking. And I know that like these people lie intentionally and they lie by omission all the time, especially when they're talking about like their backgrounds. But it is pretty crazy. But like, there's that she was a mail order bride, and Michael Wolff might disprove it in a court of law. So this is a snapshot.
The reason why I show you that is because when I first was talking about that, I mentioned Hawk, and like I said, he was an attorney. He's still an attorney, and he researches things. I think he also has someone else who researches the things to make sure that it's accurate. And so I believe that to be true. Okay? I believe that to be true. And yeah, I'm sure he would not have co-signed that video or put his face into that video if he did not believe and already looked to see that that was true. Okay? So now we're going to get into the portion of where we're going to take a look at the energy surrounding this situation and what Spirit wants to know. Before I actually do that, I'm going to read one card, and that will be for how we should try to navigate this period, because it is a lot for the general public. Okay, so we're going to take one for that, and then we're going to get into it, and we're going to see what Spirit has to say. I left this open. Why? Because shit is crazy right now. And yes, we talk about this behind the scenes in my Patreon group all the time. But sometimes I will leave them open for everybody if I feel it's important enough. And I feel like this is important enough in light of the fact that we're having a situation in South Africa, the taking away of women's rights here, the taking away of the equal opportunity and the DEI and just all the shit. I feel like we, as a collective, sometimes we just got to come together and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not losing my mind. This is actually happening. Okay, so we're going to take a look. Spirit, can you show me, please? We have two. Pacha Karmic 32 reduces to a 5, number of change, nourishment of the soul. And number 43, Viracocha, honor the light. We will read those and then we will get into the general messages about the surrounding situation. You are granted the gifts of fertility, creativity, and earthly abundance to support all your needs, for nourishing body, mind, and soul, and to live your life fully and be capable of manifesting your divine purpose. Give yourself permission to nourish your body and provide your heart, your mind, and your soul with what they are hungry for: meaning, sweetness, divine love, and the freedom to be authentic. When you feed yourself that which nourishes you, wisely and generously, you shall become one who can also feed the world that for which it truly hungers. Okay, and I was saying that we chose this timeline here to be supportive, but it also comes with a even those that are working towards that need to feel some level of tension to solidify the urgency in the frequency of the collective. Okay, so from my spirit, I say this truth. I am grateful for the gift of this mind, body, and soul, which allows my spirit to experience human life. May I be assisted in all ways to discover the best and most beautiful ways to nurture all aspects of myself. May that inner nurturing flow into all aspects of my life, helping to nurture all life around me through divine wisdom and grace. May all beings be fed with what is truly needed through divine grace and courageous, wise use of our free will as human beings. So be it. Okay. So I do feel like we are being encouraged to, pour into ourselves and understand the purpose. Okay, let's read 43 real quick before we get started. Okay, you are a light bearer. We know that we're the lighthouses, right? Your soul's purpose is to redress the presence of darkness on this planet through shining the light. You are meant to do this in a ways that feel most uplifting to you. What brings brightness to your spirit? Do those things. How can you create a loving legacy to remind others of the light? Exploring and expressing the light in ways that remind others to seek light is also a way to fulfill your divine destiny. Your light is powerful. Use it. Okay, and let's see. There is a prayer. And the prayer says, I ask for divine blessing so that my creations may be expressions of true spiritual light, bringing assistance to this world. I give thanks for the gift of my creativity and of my ability to feel and know the light. May this light dwell fully alive within me, inspiring my creativity so that I am a source of loving radiance for those in the world, in need in the world. May joy always be at home in my heart through my own free will. So be it. So again, I think Spirit just verified that yes, the lighthouses are trying to uphold an energy. And like I said, I think that we do have the best shot, even though it looks so crazy right now. The reason why it looks so crazy is because when individuals or a system, or even if you put it in a, let's put it in a spiritual context or a medical, demon, virus. Let's do it like that. Whether it's a demon or a virus, if the host is going to die, they're going to look for a new host, period. And we are in a season where we are watching the host die. And that is why there's like such a heavy push to spread a particular mindset. Okay? So let's get into it, Spirit. Please show me with precision and accuracy that which the collective needs to know for their highest good. Clear discernment of what is occurring in the collective in regards to the abuses of these women related to this case, and what will be revealed, if at all, and what can we do as a whole in regards to the tearing down of systems that exploit women and children. And not only, we're going to get into this, not only women and children, they took 40 of the guys that went to CCOT who had been interviewed. Okay, that was the prison in El Salvador. And they were waterboarded. They were great. I don't care if you're a male or a female. And I don't give a fuck what's been done in history. I don't. We have to get to a place in society where the grape of anybody is not a form of punishment. And listen, we need stronger, stricter regulation and laws for that. Okay, let's get into it. Spirit, can you show me, please? Resurrection, athlete, all of these will be clarified. Romantic, crossed, deadbeat, refusal to change, integration, lost dreamer, crossed, sovereign, artist in reverse, judge. I saw that. Trader hater. I will please, guys, read his comment, okay? I'm not kidding either. I was trying to say it in a proper way. Okay? Because even YouTube has some guidelines, right? But they've got the word Trump in the emails, and then they've got the word Bubba for Bill. And they're saying that there might have been allegedly some sloppy toppy, if you feel me. And that Putin has the Gluck Gluck 3000 photos. I'm uplifting. What? Let me say it bilingually. ¿Qué qué? ¿Qué qué? ¿Qué qué? And you want us to keep it and the status quo? We're supposed to act like there ain't shit happening right now. Okay? That's why he's flipping out right now. Okay? This card, I'm not fucking kidding. There's emails. Okay? The emails are bad. The emails are bad, bad, okay? Bad. That's why they're flipping out. That's why MAGA is turning. And I said to you guys, was it Friday, Patreoners? What I was saying that the Mercury retrograde was going to release mad shit. Okay, this card usually represents Elonia, okay? But I'm also getting MAGA Mike. So we're going to put this here. Tests and trials, we're on it right now. This is where we're at, okay? So I'm going to stop here. This will be our bottom of the deck card. We've got a lot to clarify here. And you guys know I always start with the stories and tell you, you know, what's the word on the curb. And then what I do is I pull the cards and Spirit gives us some information. And then, you know, we look back and we're like, oh, shit, that did come out in the reading. So you and I are observers together. We have the cards out. We're going to take a look. We're going to see what's, you know, Spirit says is truthful and not truthful. Right? Yeah. Let's get into it. For those of you in the Patreon, I'm going to send some of those videos that I came across. Okay? And I'm telling y'all, for those of you that like this type of content, you need to join my Patreon because that's where all the is. Okay? That's where all the is. Yeah. The Gluck 3000. Can you imagine? Baby. So in reference to that specific email, I saw when I first found out about that, I saw this lady yesterday, right? And she was like, I thought it was some bullshit. That's what she was saying. I couldn't believe that was true. So I went to the document dump that Congress put out to go to the official website. And she said, sure enough, it was there. And she put it up on the screen. I'll send the videos to you guys later. So she actually pulled the docket. Baby is bad. They're all in bed together. They're all in bed together. 6 of Sticks. They just thought they was going to win, but the attention is on them, right? And, you know, it looks bad. So getting also, I'm still standing better than I ever been. Right? So, allegedly, it feels as if the day that these people came out and said that they wanted to get a Florida prosecutor to indict Obama, allegedly, that was the moment. Because prosecutors started to quit. We were already in the shutdown. And they're respected. And that caused people to say, wait a minute, you got Letitia James with a trumped up charge. You got Comey with a trumped up charge. And then you want to go after them, another president who would have, by your own admission, have immunity. So therefore, this is the bridge too far. You're trying to starve 42 million people, right? Allegedly, right? And so that's the moment, right? So let's start pulling. We got resurrection, an issue from the past. Mercury retrograde has resurfaced. And what happened? People that respect him, i.e. the people that was handling the Epstein estate, who are the people that gave this congressional committee the emails for them to be able to release them, right? They respect him. That's why. Because it's too fucking much, right? So resurrection, Spirit, why? So you got Black Herman here in reverse. This is the magician. Okay, so their magic is not working anymore. Their ability to hide something is not working anymore. Ace of Baskets is at the bottom of the deck with the world. We are the world. We are the children. First thing I thought of, pause before I go any further. First thing that I thought of when I heard about the 42 million people, and I don't know if you guys remember, and I might not know the specific name, but remember in like the 80s, late 80s, maybe early 90s, there was some kind of like Whoopi Goldberg, Robin Williams, they all got together and did like this comedy thing to raise food for the poor. Did you see that shit? No, because there was no stars coming forward. Fuck them too. I'm dead ass. I don't care what political group they assign themselves to. I don't care if they're melanated or not melanated. Like, what's good? Like, what's good? Celebrity worship is dead. Okay? Ace of Cups, okay, with the world, right? Three of Swords. The harshness that we're experiencing is the unveiling, the big reveal. Okay, the system being exposed, right? Under this Three of Swords, Page of Cups. They don't care about the kids. Look at the little boy, right? They don't care. It's not enough, right? And who's behind this big reveal? The Empress. Let's look at the athlete in this deck. Okay, I feel like this athlete, let's say this is America, always been seen as, you know, the country that leads, the superpower, right? Well, we're like in need of fucking rehab. Okay, even our system that was supposed to be, you know, and that depends on who you talk to, right? But that was supposed to be superior, right? It's also showing you what that system was built on. And as we decolonize our minds, both from Spirit said both from slavery and servitude, because they don't consider what they do to women as slavery. I'm gonna leave that part there, right? But it needs to be exposed so that we can move forward. Okay, so Spirit, why is this athlete here? Four of Wands. Okay, so it's the biggest wealth transfer in history. They're handicapping the people, right? 10 of Coins, while they enrich themselves on the backs, right, of the public. Understand, our hourly wage doesn't match our economy. We're supposed to be a developed country. We don't have free healthcare like all the other nations in our standing, right? All the things that are, imagine if we had the things we were supposed to have with the right salary, we could really be thriving and the world could be a better place, right? Because that trickles out and makes other, you know, as we do business. But no, they don't want that. They want it for themselves. Romantic crossed. This is the men. Sorry, fellas. Man's evolvement has been too slow. Knight of Pentacles. Okay? They are burdened. First off, they give the burdens to the women. You could see it. I ain't fucking say it. You see it. Okay, but on top of that, when they're told that they need to accept that back, what do? They're out. They don't want to change. What they want to do is find somebody else who will accept that. The Lovers courting, which is why we have, you know, listen, Don't argue with me, argue with your mama, like a cheating epidemic, a rape epidemic, all these fucking things, these ills to the survival of women. And they wonder why we become so strong. We have to survive, right? Nine of coins, we become independent financially, spiritually, emotionally, out of necessity, for fear that we will not be safe other than, right? And what do we get here? Deadbeat. Listen, I'm not trying to bust the guy's ass today. I'm not, okay? But this is also emblematic of what you just saw the government do to little kids. And knowing that, you would think that what they do is like, well, let's cover our tracks. Let's make sure they stay fed. Da, 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 da. No, it's more and more and more, right? They've made it so children can go back to work younger. Exploitation of children, selling of young brides, right? Human sex trafficking, all of these things. This is all tied in. It's all tied in. We can't. It's not possible to divide the things anymore. It's just not, okay? Deadbeat, spirit wide. And this is them not giving two fucks about what they've been up to, how it affects people, right? What do we got here? Two baskets. And then they go home, they have, relationships, right? Live lives like they're upstanding citizens, right? Father of knives, right? All the while, using their intellect, right? And keeping secrets, high priestess, right? Refusal to change is next. Right? The more the Epstein victims came forward, the more that women fight for change, the more that women ask for our counterparts, to explore healing and all the aspects, right? And listen, I want to say one thing. Are there women that are indoctrinated and also abusers? And yes, okay, because this level of abuse and it's systematic oppression is going to infect both male and female hosts, okay? But the overall structure is still a patriotic structure. It's a system of patriarchy. Okay? Refusal to change. Why is that here? They just keep it moving. Move to a new area. Do more shit, right? With Mrs. Robinson in reverse. That's the devil. They feel like they just not going to get fucking caught. What's good, Maritza? Oh, okay. Yeah, and sometimes you need to unsubscribe and subscribe again because YouTube, and they probably pushed this one down because of the subject matter. Okay? But what they're doing here is they never thought that their deeds would catch up to them. Okay? And this devil in reverse, this is like, when a narcissist finds out that you recognize them, all the gloves are off, the mask is off, they're just going for the kill. Okay? Integration. So I feel like this integration is actually talking about the Trinity that I was saying, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, and our higher energies, and the Pluto in Aquarius really forcing us to see the ills of society as a whole And what comes out is the Five of Swords. Okay, so they're trying to put ultimate pressure to crack people. They've been doing that for the last few weeks. They wanted to change a couple of votes to not release the 2018 for them not to have enough signatures to continue to move forward to take another vote, which would be the vote that would release all of the files, right? They need 20 Republicans for that. They were trying to stop it before they got to the 218, which is why they didn't want to swear in that woman. But she held her ground, and even Laura Loomer and all these people that are his loyalists said, no, we're holding the line. And I said to you guys, I think it was last Friday, like the unraveling is already going to start. Like they're going to start distancing themselves. Okay. And sure enough, I didn't know that this email dump was coming, but I did say that that there was going to be a reversal of energy or something. He wasn't going to be able to hold the line. Okay. So here's the Lost Dreamer, and it comes out with the Seven of Baskets crossed. They're both crossed. Okay. So this is, they wanted to keep distractions. That's why they keep pumping them towards us. They want us confused. Okay. I was just talking to Rose yesterday. This is kind of giving Don't Look Up, the movie, for those of you who've seen it. And then the Seven of Baskets. Okay. This is like illusions, and there are a lot of illusions, and there's a lot of things. Yes, thankfully they finally swore her in. And with the Seven of Cups coming out cross, they've been trying to throw as much shit at us as they possibly could to keep us in, also a state of unrest where you constantly feel uneasy, stress, cortisol up, right? Nervous system deregulated, right? That is the purpose. But I think it's starting to backfire on them. Okay. Also, people who were in influential power are starting to lose power. Chuck Schumer. I don't know if you guys saw that Jesse Jackson is having, grave medical problems. Now, I'm not saying he's involved in that situation, but what I'm saying is that people that were emblematic of change before are now, and I had said to you guys, 2 years ago, there's a lot of people that can't go to the new timeline with us, whether they're beloved or not. That's just what it is. Okay? Sovereign. What's it, April? The Star. Okay, so something is lining up, and it has something to do with Pluto. Okay, and you see the empty space, and I said to you guys a few months ago, I don't know if it'll be that somebody just goes kaput, or if somebody gets, physically removed, let's say. But I feel like it's coming. Now they're going to interchange it with somebody else. You know what it is, right? But there's some brouhaha that's going on in the back. Okay, more information about some tinkering. Another thing that came out, y'all can go check, look up the emails, go find it. There's evidence that what she said, $126,000 was spent on payment. Allegedly, for the January Sixers. What's good, Bree? For the January Sixers, and that they had paid for all that shit. So he paid for their hotel rooms, allegedly, all that shit. And that Jack Smith had the evidence. And that's why they canned him. I'm so sorry, honey. They probably trying to discourage people from coming on in. Artists coming out cross with the 5 of sticks crossed. So I feel like their creativity has gone to shit. Okay, they can't control the narrative anymore. Okay, I also feel like this artist in reverse is not conducive to like people's creativity as a whole. But I feel like they're losing the narrative, controlling the narrative. 5 of sticks, there's conflict that's growing. It's up and it's stuck. At the bottom, they're trying to cap the power that this situation has to spill over. I think it's fucking too late. Okay, you've got the judgment here. Okay, hold on. I just got an alert. I'll clarify. I'll look at that when we're done. But it says Trump cancels events as health deteriorates after bad news. Okay, so we got the judge here. Let's finish these cards, and then I'll look at a couple things I want to show you online. Because I like to give you as much as I know. And then we look at what comes out from spirit together. Okay, so judgment or judge and the wheel of fortune. Something's about to change. Okay, this is the Hierophant, but this is for me. This is a Court of 9, and the Emperor gonna head off. They're gonna head off. Okay, them bones, judgment. Okay. Okay, there's something that's going to go against. He's going to try to say that he's giving people $2,000 checks. I feel like that's probably never going to happen. Okay, even if he does, he's trying to buy his way out. Okay, crossing the threshold with the why. Okay, so crossing the threshold. You see, that's us, but this is also the change. Age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. What's changing? What's coming out? The truth, right? 3 of coins about who was in bed with who, right? Who zoom in who, right? And the 10 of pentacles and how much they fucking robbed, right? Like those Doge checks. Correct. The daughter of sticks, right? And they might send out something. Okay, but I just want to say, even if they send something out, you're paying that back later in your taxes because he's fucked us already. Okay, diplomat. It's going to show all the people that was in on it together. Okay, this is also diplomat. Other nations knew that this drop was coming. They actually encouraged it. They actually, people that were in their governments or their politicians, anybody that is affecting that country, it's as if they already said, just like the Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew, like, hey, you need to come clean up your side of the street because the only way we can stop what's happening over there, which affects us all globally, is to out everything, which means you getting a fucking case, you getting a case, you getting exposed, you getting exposed, you getting exposed. Okay, so this agreement came from behind the scenes. They were handshakes. They were like, yeah, you know, this was good. Yeah, we're cutting off. We're not going to share information. He's giving it to them. Look what we found. Look what we got. Pictures of this, blowies, this, that, this. Okay. So they had to do it. Backroom agreements. Do you see the paperwork being signed? To cut off the head of the snake, a lot of people have to go down with the ship. And it means no going to calmer waters, baby. Sucks to be you. But to go after the head, we're going to have to cut off the tail, baby. Okay, so all that juggling and behind the scenes, that shit's over. Okay? Yeah, it's up and it's stuck. Yeah, he's flipping the fuck out. Yeah. Now I'm having loyalty inside my DNA. Okay, so this is like the ancestors. They like, yeah. Okay, ancestors. Aggression. Why? Three of Baskets, because the main event is here. And there may be something really big coming. Okay, Nine of Sticks, something that they can't hold the line. Pay attention for a false flag. Okay, status quo, because can they keep the status quo? Let's see. So we have status quo out here. Coming out with the Three of Sticks coming out cross. Spirit saying here, the future's unknown. Okay. Now here we have here the Two of Sticks. There's things that we can't see. There's also things that they couldn't see was going to happen. Okay. I don't think that he knew that they were going to release those things on the strength of he stepped on some toes by trying to get a indictment on Obama. I think that was a fatal mistake. Okay. Now here you have here's the Tower. Excuse me. Can they stop this from occurring? Nine of Cups. Okay. Nine of Cups. Okay. That would be their wish fulfillment. Three of Pentacles. Okay. They're looking for people to collab with, but here's the answer. They don't have enough. They don't have enough. Four of Baskets. Okay. They're upset. Okay. So now the Teacher. I'll be a father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. That's a creepy song for Spirit to pick for this. Spirit, show me. So the exploitation of children, women have all been about education. We're educating you. We're making you better. We're teaching you Christianity. We're teaching you this. We're teaching you that. Even that is exploding with the lady who went and called the churches and was like, hey, I got a baby crying. I need 1 can of formula. And like something like 42 churches turned her down, right? And with this Knight of this Page of Pentacles coming out cross, it's showing you that even what's supposed to be set up as opportunities is really detriments. Okay. What else came out here? Yeah, here it is. Seven of Sticks. Okay. They're going to try to cover it up as much as possible, but the Ten of Swords is here. Okay. Ten of Swords. It's going to be all on Front Street. All that has been done. I feel like there's a vote. Do you see there's somebody on the stairs with the 10 swords? This is giving me Caesar. Right? Was he the one that got murked by his own Congress or whatever? I'm not saying that that's, but what they're saying is that it's over. The romance is over. What did MAGA Mike do? Supposedly the word on the curb is that he still sent everybody home. Why? Because there's shit on him. I'm going to say this. Y'all can go look this up. It's not false. When he was in his 20s, he adopted, I think it was a 17-year-old black homeless young man as his son. And allegedly, now that part is true. Allegedly, people think that the real reason why he did that was because he wanted to adopt his lover in his Christian lifestyle. I can't say whether that's true, but I would say that he's weird. And there's, been a lot of alleged things about him being on Grindr. And so if they've got info on the big dog, and the big dog been putting the squeeze on MAGA Mike, it might be because he got dirt on MAGA Mike. And so that's why he was willing to do the things and continues to be willing. But I also hear that there are people who are ready to go around him. Okay, so we got tests and trials at the bottom of the deck. he's about to go through it. And it came out slightly crossed. This would be him, the emperor, right? Six of sticks. I feel like this is not him winning. I feel like the hangman. I feel like the public is going to win. It's just going to take some time. It might not be till we might really see the turning of the tide. Maybe upon the return. I'm mixing cards. Hold on. On the return of after the holidays. I feel like they're trying to see. And I said to you guys, I said they why is this coming out? I'm gonna tell you why this is coming out. There's some things that he went too far, and they were taking the temperature. If you're a political observer like I am, they leak some things. They take the temperature of the situation. And I said to you guys about a month ago, they have A type response, a B type plans, right? Plan A, plan B, plan C, right? And what they're doing is they're throwing out different lanes of information, different threads for the public to pull. And they want to see which one is going to stick. I think they've done this before with him. I think the ballroom images, he didn't get enough pushback. So they were like, that one's not going to work, right? But you know what's working? Luck 3000. Okay? That is fucking working. Okay? That, all right? That's where, so now they're seeing that they're getting a little traction with that. So what we should be doing is seeing the response on the opposite side. Also, a good thing would be to start calling your representatives right now. What are you doing about these emails? Are you going to be releasing the files? Okay, because this man wants restitution of $230 million for him being convicted of shit he did, let alone the shit that we didn't even scratch the surface. So we're going to pay him for the exploitation of children and for him stealing our money. Like, we need to get all up in Congress's face right now and be like, what are y'all doing? Y'all back on vacation already? What do you came? You opened the government to leave? That's one hell of a Thanksgiving. They said that they worked like maybe 20 something days. What? Hell no. Hell no. And we cannot forget this when the 2026 elections come. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that came up before. I'm going to see if Venus sent the video.
American media from the Epstein on Truth Social right now saying that he wants. And if you.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to play it for you guys. This is the video about the about the South Africa. There's a whole other, like a genocide happening in Sudan, but let's go.
It's raining purple on the socials, and I'm loving it. We are standing with Women for Change. We are standing with women in general. We are standing with women and girls, LGBTQI plus community. One are men as well, you know. And this is a point that I wanted to bring up as well, is if you are a man and you don't know what to do, and you're seeing all these purple profile pictures, some guys are changing their profile pictures to purple, some are not, you don't know where to stand. This is my perspective, if you ever find it helpful. The call is for GBV to become a national disaster. National does not remove you as men. It negatively affects you as men if we as women are unsafe in this country, right? If we are unable to raise abantwana in the knowledge that they can be children, that women can be themselves, that they can just be citizens on their land, in their country. It affects you negatively because we are a society, right? We are an ecosystem. We are each other. Now, I want to give kudos to the guys who have already changed their profile picture and have already signed the petition as well. Yeah, I would imagine if you want to also stand on the day and wear black, do it. But what I want to point out as genius as well on the front of Women for Change, who thought of what to do on the 21st of November, is the economic impact. We need to also speak about the fact that we are asking women to withdraw their contribution to the economy so that we can make a statement that hits not only the heart, not only social media, but also hits the pockets of these leaders who seem to be turning a blind eye to more than 50% of the population literally being unalived, being raped, and being SA'd every single day. It is a message to leadership that females' lives are not only worth something, but they are incredibly valuable in every way. So the ask that women do not participate in the economy, so don't buy anything on that day. Okay, don't participate in the economy. Don't buy anything in that day. Don't go anywhere that's going to be taking your money. Abstain from work. They had a communication about if you need something to give to work to say that you're staying away for the protest. I think you can check their socials out for that. But to stay away so that your workplace can feel the absence of the female energy and see what it would be like if we weren't here. Men, you are important in this as allies, as supporters. I don't even know anything else that's happening on social media other than this purple campaign right now, because it's the only thing that I'm manifesting, it's the only thing I'm seeing, it's the only thing I'm focused on. But men, do that thing. Be creative, change your profile picture, make it into a color of like a hue of purple. I've been seeing people being very creative with their profile pictures. Show the support. Show the support. Show that you are citizens. Show that we are your sisters. We are your mothers. We are your daughters. We are your cousins. We are your aunts. Show that out loud. Because as soon as you're able to do that, it's a way as well to hold yourself accountable in your communities and in your circle. If people are seeing you with a purple profile picture and then tomorrow they're seeing you groping a girl inappropriately, do you see what the contradiction is? So it's also a way to not only hold yourself accountable, but it shows people around you that behavior that is placing our women and girls at risk or making them feel uncomfortable in any way is unacceptable around you. You're saying, not in my name, not as me, male me. You're saying, I will stand and I will speak out and I will defend and I will fight for, if I'm ever in the position to have to do so. It says, as a man, to my fellow brothers, we are saying no, not in our name. It's helping you find your tribe, your group of men, your people in your circles who you see have moral integrity and a heart to feel and empathize with us as women. It helps you see. So change the profile picture going towards the 21st of November. Identify who the conscious, empathetic, wise men in your community are, so that eventually you mobilize and create and teach and raise more of you. 21st of November, we are doing all of these things that are here in the screenshot over here.
And I'm going to send this to our group, guys. I'm going to send this to our group. This is our beautiful sister and part of the lighthouses. That is Venus, guys. Okay, so I'm going to send this to you guys. And the last thing I wanted to look at was that news story that they're saying he's not doing well. Let's look at that.
Here we go again. Donald Trump's schedule today entirely empty. Yesterday, he ran away from the press when they were asking him questions. The pressure that is mounting based on the release of these Epstein emails.
So as you see, it is getting
So this is a snapshot
quite thick. And I just wanted you guys to have some insight as to what is coming down the pike. Please do support our South African sisters. What's the group name? Oh, my group. Okay, go to Patreon and just put in Lovely Soul Empress. And there's different tiers, but what is it? The Soul Circle. You get all from the Soul Circle and up, you get all of these type of lives like this. Okay. So I just wanted to start there. For my Patreoners, for the Alchemist group, you guys are up next. Okay. Thank you. You guys are up next. We will try to meet sometime this weekend. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I just want to say thank you for spending some time with me. And if you're a new viewer and you're coming across this video, give me a like and a follow. And you can find me on all the platforms by the same name. I'm wishing you all light and love and blessings on blessings. Bye, guys.